Merry Christmas. It is the 25th of December, 2021. I'm Scott Miller. This is the Sheep Guarding Vlog. This is the Simple Beach Lodge in Las Piñatas, Ponaloya, León, Nicaragua. That is the amazing sunset that we get every night. And this is a complete and utter madhouse. We had no idea that Christmas Day was the big party day in Latin America, but it is. This is absolutely insane. I'm going to do my best to try to show some of this. I want you to see the traffic behind me. The entire street is packed, and even the parking lot across the street from us is full, and the entire street in front of me is full, and the hotel has been packed all day. The whole village has been busy last night. It's the number of people out here is just crazy. I'm going to try to get this thing to spin around, but it won't come too quickly. There we go. You can kind of see the cars and people all the way down the street. This is just crazy. So today, yes, it's Christmas. We got up this morning, walked the dogs, and did that kind of stuff. And I'm having some problem with there's no connection from my phone to the gimbal, and it's losing me every time I take a couple steps. So that's partially what's going on. It's been a nuts day, right? We didn't get that much sleep, and this morning we got up and had to do stuff with the dogs. It had to wrap presents. We didn't have time to do that previously. Didn't even have time to purchase, because this is the problem with doing digital presents. You got to kind of do it that morning or they see it because they go into their accounts and the games are there. So I had to do all of that this morning and prep everything for the kids. And of course, we don't have a lot of things for them to unwrap. They've pretty much seen everything they're going to unwrap because they went to the store and picked it out. There's no way around it, right? It's very different. So instead, we wrap things that they picked out, and they're getting a ton of video games because that's really the thing that they want, and it's a thing that they can use, and it's a thing that they do use. So it's really kind of perfect that, it's just practical, right? It's otherwise it would be, just a bunch of things that sit on a shelf and never really get used, right? This becomes something that they actually will use all the time, and they're very good at picking out video games because they're just really good at it. When they pick out video games very carefully, it tends to be games that they put in hundreds of hours playing, which of course makes them incredibly good value. Very few things do you spend so little money on and use so heavily. This is one of the busiest days I've ever seen on the beach. This is something that we were told we were coming into the busy season. This is crazy. We're not able to eat in our own hotel tonight because it's that busy. The kitchen can't handle us. So we're going to be going to Puerto del Sol, which I'm right next to. The joystick on this is just not turning the camera. Puerto del Sol, which is over there for dinner. We're going to order in pizza in a little while. The traffic has not stopped all day. This is it's so wild. Even when Alan and Anna came to eat at the restaurant, they had to eat on the second floor because we didn't have enough table space for them. We had to give up our own table multiple times throughout the day because there just wasn't space for any of us to be in the restaurant. So this morning, it was just dealing with dogs, dealing with wrapping and all that kind of stuff. And of course, there were some cooking things going on. So we then celebrated Christmas once Luciana got up. Before that, it was all just us hanging out and having breakfast or getting ready. I had tons of stuff downloading because just one of the games they wanted is 80 gig. And while we have a good internet connection, the entire country is downloading video games today, right? So the performance of downloads is really bad. So I wanted to get that started. We were probably 50 games downloading. They got all kinds of Sims 4 stuff, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Ooblets, Wobble Dogs. It just goes on and on. They had so many games that they wanted. So that was a lot. And then at about 11 o'clock, after we had our tea rings and hung out with Yvonne and Alan and Anna this morning, then the kids came into the office and we opened presents there, which was fun. It's very different than what they're used to because we got very few presents this year, very few physical items, which is actually really nice, right? There's a lot of upside to that. And we have nowhere to store things. So I'm turning onto the side road here, and there are so many cars that it's difficult to go anywhere or to be able to be heard. Cars everywhere. And I just turned my ankle. Okay. they opened their presents, and then we had presents for Yvonne. The girls are very excited because there's a lot of video games that they really want. So that it actually, I think they're pretty happy overall. The whole process went pretty quickly, and they get to actually use their stuff today. They're immediately able to start playing with it. So they headed off to start actually playing some games. And then shortly after that, Camille came over to hang out. She got some lunch. We hung out in the restaurant for a while Dominica set up the gingerbread contest. Is one of the things that Luciana requested, a gingerbread contest and a hot chocolate decorating contest. Things that we traditionally do in Texas, and that she was worried about losing, and so we're doing that today as well. So the gingerbread got started, I want to say about 2:30 or 3 o'clock, probably about 2:30, and it was a huge undertaking. Now you can't buy this stuff here, so this is freshly, now keep in mind I'm on a completely back road, and pay attention to the number of cars that are going by. I'm on the dirt road in the back of town. All right, Dominica had to cook the gingerbread herself. So this is homemade gingerbread, which is delicious, by the way, way better than you get at a store. But she also had to make icing. Now, they don't have powdered sugar here, so making the kind of icing that you use with this was really hard, and it was just regular sugar kind of pulverized. Did not hold up all that well, so that was problematic. So this is quite the challenge, and we're in really hot temperatures. I mean, not really hot, but warm, much warmer than a house, and very humid. We're not able to run air conditioning. We had to do this outside, and there's an ocean breeze blowing onto all of this, which is really challenging because there's like a mist coming in, and it's really humid. So the icing is actually deteriorating as you use it. It's not great in that regard. So this is it. Hours and hours of trying to do gingerbread houses, and they just falling apart as we did it. It was pretty crazy. As a project, so hours and just holding them together, and they all came apart. I did take a bit of video as we did it, so you can see a lot of that. It was fun though. Everybody had a really good time. So it was Liesl and Luciana and Yvonne and Camille and Dominica who did the decorating. We only had that much gingerbread, so I didn't actually have to do it. So I was filming and hanging out and doing that stuff. Luciana really wanted hummus for dinner, and Liesl wanted nachos, but the kitchen is so busy we can't do it. We have to order out, so we're planning on getting pizza tonight and recording this just before sunset. After the gingerbread competition, Camille ran home so that she can just get water and change and relax a little bit before coming back for sunset, which is about 5:30, so only about 15 more minutes or so. And we're all pretty exhausted. The dogs have been crazy today. That's not helping, although we do have a couple people who are potentially interested in taking the little puppy, who we are now calling now I can't even remember what we're calling him. My gosh, it's been a long day. We were calling him B, then we were calling him Trio, and now we're calling him after the cookie, which is, I know what it means in German, which is crispy noodle. Snickerdoodle, that's what it is. We're calling him Snickerdoodle. He seems to respond to it. Alan is potentially interested in him. Anna really wants him. And then after Alan had expressed interest, Carlos, who works for us, expressed that he might be interested. So it looks like someone's going to take him. He is a very sweet, very cute, and now quite healthy puppy. So he's pretty adoptable. We just need to make sure he's going to a good home, right? Because we care about him. We want to make sure he's safe and taken care of. That is our day. This evening, the restaurant is still packed. For about 45 people in it right now as I came out here. So that's probably going to stay all evening. It is so weird here that they don't celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day. This is just a party weekend here. So there's no anything in a Christmas vibe, right? There's no Christmas music. There's no Christmas. It is drinking on the beach like any other wild weekend. And tomorrow's Sunday, so it's expected to go all day tomorrow as well. This is just a long weekend of big time party here. Who knew? I had no idea. Such a different cultural experience, but very cool. So we're going to spend the evening having pizza, hanging out, probably doing the hot chocolate competition. Oh, and the dogs, I was saying, was just being crazy. It's been a lot of dealing with walking them today. The little one made a huge mess. We had to have the room cleaned because of it. The cat, Minerva, just had a huge mess, and the room is being cleaned. That's what allowed me to come out. I didn't have a free moment all day. I wanted to record this at 8 o'clock this morning, and it is now 5:15. This is the first I've been able to step away to even think of recording a video for you guys, because it's been just running from taking care of animals to doing Christmas stuff to dealing with the hotel, one thing after another, as fast as I can go to it all day long. I've done nothing else, right? It's Christmas, that's cool, but it's been a crazy day. So I'm really hoping we get some time to relax tonight, maybe go out a little bit. We'll see, because apparently all the bars are open and hopping because it's Wild Christmas Day. Doing a morning after recap because it was so early that I had to do the recording, but so much was going on because it was Christmas. After doing the recording, saw Camille just a little bit. She had gone out to the beach to check out the sunset, but everybody was tired, right? So she decided to just head home and call it a night pretty early. Had not gotten a lot of sleep. She actually burned herself last night grabbing a hot skillet off of the stove at the hostel, and so she took a while to get to sleep, didn't get a lot of sleep, and I was looking forward to catching up some tonight. Really appreciated the fact that we were not then gonna go out because Dominica was kind of in a mood to go somewhere, and I was just tired, and the kids wanted to hang out. So once we were done with the recording yesterday, I went back. We did dinner. We ordered out from Puesta del Sol, which I'll actually spin around from Puesta del Sol. We got pizzas, which were excellent, and Luciana found the most amazing new thing. I can't believe that we didn't know about this on the menu. I mean, we check all the time, so it's brand new, but it's like a focaccia smoked salmon, cream cheese, zucchini sandwich. It's amazing. I can't believe how good it is. So Luciana definitely scored on dinner, but Dominica and I got a margarita pizza, and that was really good too. Paul got pepperoni. Liesel had been wanting veggie nachos all day, skipped lunch to try to get them, so we did have the restaurant make that. The restaurant stayed busy until at 9 o'clock at night. Yvonne finally just closed the kitchen because people were tired and needed to be able to go home. Unfortunately, Carlos's bicycle was stolen last night, and the security cameras did not pick it up, which really sucks. During the night, we had all these gingerbread houses, and when the kitchen closed, I said, should we give these to the kitchen? Because, I mean, we're not going to eat a whole pile of gingerbread houses that we made. And Yvonne's like, no one's going to want that. Like, that's weird food, and you know, no, just throw them away. So I took them into the kitchen when Yvonne wasn't there, and I'm like, this is for the trash, unless you want it. And everyone's like, is it sweet? I'm like, yeah, it's a sweet cookie gingerbread thing, and they're like, yeah, we want it. And the whole staff just devoured all of the gingerbread houses. So I think that's going to be a tradition, that we make gingerbread houses and give them to everybody for Christmas. Like, they really liked them. They're like, these are excellent. They like, everybody was standing around eating them. It was very funny. So they were a hit, contrary to what we were advised would be the case. A lot of the evening I spent trying to get Security Breach. That's Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, the one super expensive game that Liesel had wanted. And Liesel's been asking for this game all year. So this is not like a fly-by-night thing. This is her number one thing she has wanted for forever. It just released. And so there's no way we weren't getting it for her. She thought for sure she wasn't getting it. Luciana thought for sure our computer could not run it. The reality is it runs it fine. We have a really good computer. Even though we've had it for a while now, it's a really good gaming rig, very high end, and it handles even some pretty tough games with aplomb. Anyway, so the game actually had problems. It turns out it had downloaded corrupt files. It took all day to download it. It's an 80 gig game. Holy cow. Plus we had to download like 20 packs for The Sims. We had to download all kinds of games for Luciana. So there was a lot of downloading today. But we got Security Breach downloaded. It didn't work. I spent about an hour or two getting it to work. But once it was up and running, Liesel's like, oh my gosh, we're doing this. And so she played that, and Luciana came down because it's really a game for Liesel, but Luciana really likes Five Nights at Freddy's too. They're both really into the books, the culture, the story, the background, the actors, the writer, the creator. They know everything about it. This is actually like the 8th or 10th game in the series. And they're just so excited by it. They know every detail. Luciana has watched playthroughs of the game. They know where every jump is. They know the amount of stuff they know. And for me, I cannot figure out what makes this game entertaining or interesting, but they absolutely love it. So we spent the whole evening playing that together. And of course, tomorrow, they're going to come down, and that's what they're going to want to do much of the day. I don't know if Luciana will do that with Liesel all day, because she does have all that new Sims stuff to do, but that's going to be the big thing. I do have to note, we did have a 13-year-old drowned on the beach today, actually down at Ponoloya, but with the riptides, we're expecting to potentially have to be searching down here as well. That's incredibly sad. It happens a lot during the holidays. People aren't paying attention. They're not used to the riptides. There's so many people out, they think that it's safe simply because there's so many people, and there's not a lot of swimming awareness. Coming to the beach is a specialty thing here, and so there's a really high opportunity because this area has such terrible riptides. Nicaragua and Costa Rica on the Pacific coast have just outrageously bad riptides. The number of people who get caught up in them are inexperienced swimmers and have no idea of what to do in a riptide. If you're watching this and don't know, you swim along the shore with the riptide. Do not fight it. You let it take you where it'll take you, and eventually you'll have an opportunity to come into shore. The number of people who don't know that is extremely high. So that makes for a very, unfortunately, high death rate, especially among adolescents who tend to be a bit too brave and go out without knowing what to do. I'll see all of you tomorrow.